have basically been able to make sales really, really easy for years and years on out, one of the first things you always want to do when you are making a sale, especially at Asurion, you're always going to want to, first off, slow down, take your time. There is no rush. Your average handle time will definitely get a lot more better over time. But one of the things you're going to want to do is basically be personal with the customer. It's okay to have a conversation here and there. It's okay to get to know a customer. When you're hearing background noises, people got kids all the time, you're going to want to pick up on those sort of things. Pick up on, and you can pick up on it easily. Like, people who got kids, you definitely know. They're going to be wild, in the background. They obviously have kids with all sorts of devices. My kids have, their own phones. They have their own, but the coverage doesn't cover phones. It covers, the additional stuff that they have, like flat screen TVs, gaming systems, tablets, all sorts of things. Amazing coverage to have. One of the things you definitely want to highlight, when it comes to overcoming hurdles, first off is when they say no, don't be afraid. Don't think about your own pockets when you're making a sale. And that's one thing I've learned when I first got into sales, like with Liveops. I used to think about my own pockets. Look, I'm broke. I don't want all this stuff told to me, but don't think about that though. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get in there. Go ahead and find out what is the reasoning as to why they're saying no. Sometimes you have to ask them, hey, what, is there a reasoning as to why you're saying no? It depends on your voice too. Don't try to think that it's going to be bad. You're trying to go ahead, find out what match those customers to that product. Personalize your customers to that product. Once you personalize the offer to them, tailor that offer to them, I promise you that they will fall for it every single time. And assume it. Assume that you already got it. Because that they what person in their right mind don't have a television? Who doesn't have, a laptop, a monitor? Who doesn't have, all sorts of, devices? People love, technology. We're technology driven these days. Nowadays, people now just have basic speakers. They have basic, things like a DVD player, like even older folks. And, that's another thing you can base it upon, the age. And you can definitely tell within their age range when you're listening to their voice. But don't be afraid to definitely give a rebuttal. Like, it doesn't matter what's happening. Always started off with something. One of the things I've learned over the years, I am slick and sly. I always started off with, after they say, no, I don't want that. And why are you offering this to me? And all this other stuff. You just be like, I'm just letting you know that you're one of our very valued customers. Or I was just letting you know, it is an amazing offer, and then go into whatever you got to say. Those things really can turn a situation down, turn the animosity that you may get when you hear the word no automatically, or I'm not interested automatically. You turn it around with something positive automatically, and then go in with whatever you're going to say. But never be afraid to give a rebuttal. Because guess what? Whatever you have to say next, after you find out and gather the reasoning as to why they're saying no, trust me, that might turn that sale around. I really hope that this helps. If you guys have any other questions, I promise you I am here. Even for sales for Liveops. If you're just now getting into Liveops, look, I promise you. Yeah, it's amazing. I loved working at Liveops. It's absolutely amazing. All sorts of different things that you're doing, which I'm pretty sure if you've been there for Liveops for your first couple of calls, you see your days are going to be all sorts of things. You're going to have one thing, you're going to have another, and you're going to love it because you're acting so freaking much over the phone, and it's very vibrant, the sort of calls that you get, and it doesn't matter what hour you're getting those calls. One moment you're going to have this and that, and you may not know about it, but guess what? Get up in there. Go ahead. And sometimes for Liveops, you have to make up stories. You might be taking a phone call for an arthritis phone call, or for socks or something. Let them know, hey, I've tried the product, even if you didn't. And that helps you when you're offering those upsells and downsells. Make up a personal story, and it's fun. I'm not saying, okay, lying is horrible, but it's so much fun. It's so you literally have to be an actress or an actor when it does come to basically working at Liveops. You have to put on a show. First off, you have to know your customers. Now, for the customers calling in for the insurance thing, like automatically, okay, those customers may not like cheesy, but they're definitely going to love, hey, it's an amazing offer for you, and then go into your offer. And, you know, your coach is going to love that too. But you definitely have to offer a rebuttal. You can't just give up and quit. I promise you, because your pockets are not going to want to give up and quit. If you scared money, don't make no money. That's all I got to say. You got to make that sale. And that comes from Liveops too. Scared money does not make money. You cannot be scared. You never know what someone else's pockets are looking like. And if they're calling in for that product 10 times out of 12, they're going to need that down sell. They're going to need that cross sell. They're going to need whatever other product that you're giving to them. They're going to need it. And you have to basically put on a show and let them know why they need it. Because first off, if they called in for a commercial and they're seeing that this product does this product does that, you know, they are already falling for cheesy. They like cheesy. They like the fact that, oh, my wrinkles are going to disappear. Oh, I'm going to lose weight in like 10 days. Oh, they love it. And guess what? They're going to love it when you put on a cheesy act, and they're going to fall for it. And then that company is definitely going to help your pockets grow. And, you know, with Liveops, you make really good money too. Look, I'm not even going to lie. And you're working from home. It is absolutely amazing. And you're not putting yourself in danger, especially with the pandemic. I started with Liveops in 2009. That's where my sales, my basic sales thing started there. And I was only 18 years old in college. And I won't lie, I was afraid of my first calls. Your heart will race. You will get on edge and you will be like, oh my gosh, but calm yourself down. When you realize that those are just people on the other line just like you. There's nothing to be afraid of. You're going to be getting it. And then when you get to like the end of the phone call and you get to those extra parts to where they're like, oh my gosh. One thing that always got it when you're getting to like the free magazine bullcrap, you can, and they love cheesy. Remember that. Remember I told you, those people for the infomercials, they're calling for cheesy. They love it. So one thing I always did after I got their credit card information and everything, and I've gotten all those down sales, upsells, and all that stuff, and then I see that free magazine, or maybe it's an offer for that free cruise ship thing, I said, oh my gosh. That always got them. Oh my gosh. This just came across my screen. And then go into it. And you always want to get a standalone yes or no. So if they're saying, yeah, always follow it up with the thing of saying, I do need a standalone yes or no from you in order to continue. And then once that's, in Liveops, they make it so simple with their scripts. They have the rebuttals on the side. Don't be afraid to use a rebuttal. Don't be afraid to look into that script while you're talking. And you do not have to follow the script the whole time. If you know a little bit about that product, or if you know similar things about that product, ask those people questions. Don't be robotic. That's one thing about Liveops. You don't have to be robotic. You do have to say some of the stuff it says. And like if you got the script and it says say this as is, those are those terms and conditions. Follow that, especially for those like the last parts. You definitely have to follow that to the key. Like you cannot use your own verbiage for any of that, because that's your terms and conditions. But you can definitely touch it up when somebody says, you want to find out if that means yes or no. You say, I do need a standalone yes or no from you. And they have the rebuttals in there. Once you use those rebuttals, you go back in with those terms and conditions to touch up, make sure you're covering your butt so you're not getting in trouble. And that's even for Asurion touch up. I do need a standalone yes or no from you in order to continue. And then guess what? You're going to love it. You're going to love your pockets. You're going to love how that company thanks you for getting those additional upsells and downsells, because you're asking questions in the beginning of the call. What made you call in today? Hey, thank you so much for calling the Little Giant Extreme Ladder. Thank you so much for calling, I forget. It's been like a couple of years since I've worked for Liveops. I even did like TurboTax with Liveops. I love Liveops. Literally, like I love them. I love how flexible their scheduling is too, and you'll love it. But you know, once you get that, ask them why they're calling in. And when you're about to make those upsells and downsells, look, don't. The only time that you need to stop and back off is when they say they're going to cancel, and that's it. and the company expects for you to feel the same way about it. Stay tuned and like and subscribe if you want to hear more. Bye.